The life and scandals of Billie Eilish Spooky Season Edition? What's going on? Scandals? I know everything. There are no actual scandals unless you're talking about Jesse Rutherford, right? Ooh. Do y'all like short, spooky shorts? I'm gonna start reacting to them. So get ready because it's Halloween. If you like the vibe, subscribe. I needed something for a thumbnail, guys. Okay. This is like Aisha. This is Aisha Jenny. For some respect. Uh,
There's something so right about doing a Billie video in October. She just feels like spooky season in the best way possible. If you can't
okay.
tell, spooky season / fall is my favorite time of the year. This is my own version of a Halloween special
Mine
here
too.
on my channel, so I'm going to be using all kinds of spooky season visuals here just to make things fun. The love I have for Billie Eilish is one that is very different from any other artist because she's the one that truly turned me into the person I am today. High School Aisha would be absolutely nothing without this girl. There's a very good chance I wouldn't have an identity. I want to do a necessary but very thorough deep dive into Billie because out of all the main pop girls, her life is the most interesting to me, but it's also
Okay.
quite random because she's always getting into mess. So let the spooky season deep dive begin.
Is this lady telling the truth? What freaking mess is she being getting into? What? Uh-oh. A Billie Eilish deep dive. Okay.
Back in 2015, Billie was a regular girl, I guess you could say, that lived in Cali with her mom, dad, and brother Phineas, who just all happened to either be musically talented or creative in some way. Billie and Phineas were both homeschooled by their parents, so I can only imagine the shenanigans that they would get into their daily lives. I'm sure it was enough for a TV show. At this time, Billie was an avid dancer, and during one of her dance classes, her instructor asked her to make a little song for the class, nothing too crazy. And she said, sure. Why not? Phineas already had a song ready to go for his band at the time, but he decided to give it to his little sister Billie, and that song ended up being Ocean Eyes. They thought they did great with the song, and it was perfect for her dance teacher, so they just uploaded it to SoundCloud for her to access it, and that was supposed to be the end of it. But then, oops, it accidentally went viral. Shortly after this, Billie had an injury that pretty much ended her dancing career, so after this, she was kind of like, well, maybe I should give singing a try. She then signed with Interscope Records with Phineas as
imagine like just the freedom to just I'll just be a singer now. Like, oh, just picking up side missions, aren't you, Billie? And then you just sign an Interscope. How nice.
her manager and co-collaborator, and they all got to work on her first EP, Don't Smile at Me. November 18th, 2016, the first single of the EP, Ocean Eyes, was released. This song was a very clear
I never fallen from quite this high, falling in those ocean eyes, those ocean eyes.
definition of a sleeper hit. No one expected for it to go up like this.
I did.
What's interesting about this song is that a couple of years ago, Katy Perry revealed in an interview that she was sent an email to collaborate on Ocean Eyes at the time of its release, but she said no because she thought the artist was some boring, random blonde girl making sad music. And she also said that was one of the worst mistakes she has ever made, so that's a little funny. Now, my own personal feelings for the song...
Well, you gotta understand, when you're in space, the gravity could do something to your brain, so she wasn't thinking clearly.
I never liked it. You know how some songs aren't bad, like for the song she has ever made, so that's a little funny. Now, my own personal feelings for the song, I never liked it. You know how
I should click stop recording right now. But I don't do that. I'm not gonna do that, Aisha. You're bugging. You're bugging, fam.
some songs aren't bad like at all, but they're just uncomfortable to listen to, like it's not pleasing to your ears.
Really?
That's the best way I could describe how I feel about it. But I will admit, I do enjoy the Black Bear remix.
I ain't really tripping if you wanna go. I know I made you cry last year when I was on the road.
Critics and music listeners fell in love with Ocean Eyes.
What was that? That was ass. That was ass. What are you talking about? That was actually ass. What is she talking about? That was ass, bro. That wasn't ass. See y'all? It was ass as fuck.
Slowly starting to make a name for herself in the underground alternative scene. The next year in February, Billie released the second single, Bellyache.
That was her second
And if I say
song?
this is top 3 on the EP, I would be correct. This song kind of laid the groundwork for Billie's overall image for this era. Very dark, very ominous. In the music video, she's wearing a bright ass yellow outfit, throwing money and dancing on the side of the highway. And
Where'd
I
she get
really
this
love
money
the
from
color grading on
already?
this one. Everything just
Bro,
blends
music video
together
and shit. This is
so
her
well.
second
The song
song?
didn't
What
go crazy chart-wise, but it did get a lot more eyes on her. A month later, she was featured on the 13 Reasons Why soundtrack with the song Boy.
But so she signed to Interscope after one song though? Is that not insane? Bro, what?
Which also helped her push even further with the general public. Summer of 2017, she was releasing singles back to back. She was trying to make it a Billie Eilish summer. We got Watch, Copycat, I Don't Wanna Be You Anymore, and My Boy. I have
Write those down. My Boy, Copycat, I Don't Want to Be You Anymore. I haven't seen those. We already reacted to Watch during Theme Week.
very strong feelings about Copycat and My Boy. When you play those songs full volume in your car, it'll gyrate a little bit. I do need to talk about the lyrics in My Boy just for a quick little second because this is the work of a lyrical genius. My boy's being sus, he was shady enough, but now he's just a shadow. My boy loves his friends like I love my split ends, and by that I mean he cuts them off. Her and Phineas were an unmatched duo. Who else was gonna come up with this? And Burn is also top 5 on the EP for the Vince Staples verse alone. Watch doesn't exist to me. The EP itself comes out a month later, and it got a lot of positive reviews, and her fans were eating it up. I think it was really ahead of its time with its dark production and clever lyrics that 16-year-old me found absolutely genius. It wasn't making too much noise at first, but then fall of 2017 comes around and something shifted. If you were watching music reaction channels on YouTube at that time, then you remember the comment section being filled with people saying, listen to Don't Smile at Me, react to Don't Smile at Me. And finally, the reactors came through and everyone had a new favorite girl on the block.
Oh my God, am I like... So how late am I? Well, damn. Well, thank you, Aisha, for making me feel bad. Dang.
It was very interesting to watch this in real time because I got into Billie maybe summer 2017.
If this is your first time watching me, I'm not high. I do not do drugs. I haven't slept 27 hours now.
And I kid you not, she went from 600,000 monthly listeners on Spotify to 10 million in a span of 2 months. It was crazy. It was also around this time that Billie was getting recognized for her distinct personal style of baggy clothing and stacked hand jewelry, which I was absolutely obsessed with. And the real ones remember her old Instagram handle, Where Are the Avocados? Take me back. Something else Billie was very known for were her out there hair colors that were changing pretty much every single year. At the beginning of her career, she rocked pastel colors, then she went for a bright blue, which was my personal favorite. October 18, 2017 is when she began the first rendition of her Vanity Fair interviews, where they asked her a series of questions about her life, interests, and where her career was at that specific moment.
Been there.
I have 257,000. I have 6.3 million followers. 1.13 million.
9.6 million when you look up Billie Eilish.
It's a picture of me and Charlie XCX.
Isn't it the one of me smiling? Of course it is. The one picture that I have smiling.
This video truly is a time capsule. Look how young she looks. It's also interesting when you look at these because you can tell how her mental health and overall mindset was each year, and it varied year to year. By the end of 2017, she was for sure Gen Z's newest star, and it was only gonna go up from here. And I can't finish off this era without talking about the final single, Party Favor. And I hate to do this to you on your birthday. This song makes me feel not only joy but also anger because I bought a ukulele thinking I could teach myself to play this song, but then I threw it away because I couldn't figure it out. 2018 was a very crucial year for Billie because we got some of the most important songs that would come out before her debut album that really solidified her presence in the industry. March 2018, she releases Bitches Broken Hearts, and I felt seen with this song. You can't pretend you don't miss me. You can pretend you don't care. At this point in time, I myself was trying to do some promo for her by telling people to get into her. At this point, you don't miss me.
Miss me.
You can pretend you don't care. At this point in time, I myself was trying to do some promo for her by telling people to get into Billie, and they would be like the whisper girl, and
I like Aisha's hair though. The curls are curling, girl.
I would be like, you don't need to be rude. The next month in April, she and Khalid dropped one of the biggest collabs that year, Lovely, for the 13 Reasons Why
Oh my
Season
god, the
2
best collab
soundtrack,
of Billie
and this is where
Eilish's
she
career.
got huge mainstream attention. The music video is very
That
simple.
shit.
Billie and Khalid are walking around a glass case that represents
It's like a
them
storm
trying to
inside that
overcome their
cube.
depression. Nothing too crazy. Summer of 2018 would begin the kickoff to Billie's first official era, When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go? And an era like this is something I don't think could be replicated again. When creating the album, her and Phineas wanted to do anything and everything. They really didn't want to put themselves into a box, so they kind of just went in with dark beats and vibes. July 18th, 2018, she dropped the first single, You Should See Me in a Crown. I take it back. This is the song you want to play at max volume in your car for the full experience. The visuals were pretty interesting here. She did a vertical video for access through Spotify, which I thought was so innovative at the time. She was really playing into that I'm weird vibe she had going on when she put a live tarantula in her mouth in the video. I'm all for artistic expression.
What you gonna do if the spider wanted to go the other way? Grab it? Like, bro, I gotta think, bro.
But this was a bit too much.
Spider
a couple months later, she released probably the greatest ballad of the late 2010s, When the Party's Over. This was a historic moment for the music video alone. I still get chills from the scene of her drinking the black liquid and then crying it out. What a visionary. This song really cemented her as the breakout star of 2018, with this song going top 30 in multiple countries and 4 times platinum in the US. I think my absolute favorite performance of this song was during her set at the Life is Beautiful music festival. I didn't have the funds to go because I was a broke college student, so me and my friends streamed it on TV and we were crying the whole time. That's how you impact the youth. The next single doesn't come out till January 2019, really stretching out the era, but everyone loves a new single. Not me though, because it was Bury a Friend and I don't like it. I don't feel the same for it as Ocean Eyes, because to me, Bury a Friend just doesn't exist. When I look at the track list of the album, I see nothing there. It's blank. She then announces the When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go tour in early 2019, and it was a full arena tour this time. She had done tours in the past, obviously on a much smaller scale, but this one was huge because this was after she had fully blown up. So you can imagine that this tour sold out in minutes. The girls were fighting for those seats. I haven't talked about any of her performances yet, but don't worry, we're gonna get there. Bury a Friend makes me suffer, but the single after that, I have a very deep love for.
That Rihanna.
Wish You Were Gay deserves a Grammy for the lyricism alone. I just want to make you feel okay, but all you do is look the other way. I can't tell you how much I wish I didn't want to stay. I just kind of wish you were gay.
Isn't that when she's talking to her friend that's getting mistreated?
And if I call her a lyrical genius, the people are gonna say I'm exaggerating. The album and the single Bad Guy come out on the same day.
I think she's a good songstress. I think she's just a good artist. Look at them retro fours. Look at those blazers right there. I think she's a good, those right there, those are those one Adidas, those never mind. But anyway, but she's a good artist. I wouldn't even talk her to just like lyricist or whatever. Like the way she puts everything together, like she's an everything artist. The way she puts the notes. Have y'all not been watching today how she broke down
she dropped it? I remember
Birds of a Feather and what was it, Happier Than Ever, that we just looked at, or what was that made for? But she's an overall artist. Like she's an artist. Like,
it was my senior year of high school, and I was listening to the album in my AP biology class, and hearing the transition from Bad Guy to Zanny for the first time.
Who is Zanny?
I can only describe that as out of this world. It was also hilarious to me that no one was listening to the teacher that period because we were all streaming the album. That's how you know she had the youth hooked. But the terror I went through hearing Bad Guy on every radio station, H&M store, and ice cream shop, I never want to go through that again. The numbers and accolades her debut did was pretty much unheard of for a new artist in the streaming era. It went #1 in over 30 countries. She also became the youngest solo artist to have a #1 album on the UK album chart and sold over 20 million equivalent album units worldwide, making it a diamond certified album. She went absolutely crazy here. This was insane. We're now at April 13th. She went absolutely crazy here. This was
They all reaching for a billion, 2 billion. This is going towards 3 billion. What the fuck? This nigga's got dumb numbers. Get into a billion, bro. Her one album shits on like everybody's shit, bro. Like, and then imagine how many other people still don't even know it yet. He has a song called The Number 8 with 300 mil, bro.
It was insane. We're now at April 13th, 2019, which is the date of her first performance at Coachella. At this point, Billie was the most famous she had ever been, and keep in mind the girl was only 17, so I know she was tired, but history had to be made here. She had a lot of amazing visuals going on in her set that really just conceptualized the album so well. The performance was so good. She always has an amazing aura on stage to where she doesn't need backup dancers. Her stage presence alone is so huge. As good as it was, there were a couple of problems. Her set was over 45 minutes late, and she also forgot the lyrics in one of her songs, which she actually talked about in her interview on the Zach Sang show.
Dude, I was so hyped to do that song, especially at Coachella with the visuals and everything.
And it's all the earth, people there are into it.
Yeah, dude. And I was so excited, and it was great. And then it got to the second verse, and I started thinking about something else. And then I just was gone. Because the thing is that the screens weren't, something was off with the screens before the set, so they delayed it 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And everybody blamed that on me when literally I was standing there behind the stage. Like, can we go? Like, I was like, I want to go on the stage. I'm telling you, everybody, all the dancers were with me. We were all just like,
wait, what was delayed that she couldn't just go?
And I kept asking my tour manager, Brian, I was like, what the f? I was like, can I go on stage?
Billie was the most famous teen on the planet, and everyone had some kind of opinion on her, whether it was how she dressed to how she sang, and people even accused her of faking her depression just so she can keep her sad girl aesthetic.
We've talked about that a million times. Talked about it on stream, talked about it in videos. We're not gonna, I personally won't entertain someone, I will never entertain the idea of someone faking depression. Have gone through it, knowing people that have gone through it, I won't risk invalidating someone's experience or how they are feeling mentally because someone might. That's one of those things I'm gonna face it every time I hear someone say that they're going through that. I'm gonna treat them like they are. To even think someone might be faking it is really weird and insensitive, and you clearly have never been there to think someone would fake that. So not gonna get too much into it, but
this was way too much for her, and it began her very complicated relationship with social media. So the first thing she did was delete Twitter, and I was very sad when this happened. Seeing her random tweets on my timeline was a part of my morning routine. Billie was pretty open about her body image.
She did an interview with Nadeska. Guys, that was my bro. Oh, we watching that. Oh my God, my eyes just watered. Yo, me and y'all, we just met. We just. She did an interview with Nadeska. Gosh, bro. That's crazy. This was my OG wife. Like, I at her and everything back when it was Twitter. I was like, will you marry me? And she literally, I'm gonna show you a screenshot of everything. She was like, give me 4 or 5 years to be mentally prepared. 2023 was the 5th year. She had already got pregnant. Oh my God.
Oh my God, bro.
Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck? self-image, which is why she felt more comfortable in baggy clothing, and people still had an issue with how she dressed, specifically with not being able to see her figure, which the internet had some weird fascination with. All the comments online about her life would really fuel the material for her next album, but we'll get there in a minute. July 19th comes around and Billie debuts her very iconic bold green hair, specifically the green roots with the black ends. She was already very influential with her fashion style, but when this hair dropped, Gen Z alt girls were never the same. She also started wearing very long acrylic nails, adding a bit of a feminine touch to her style now. I'm gonna move further in the timeline just so we can wrap up this era.
Was that like super different, like that?
She goes on her sold out world tour, and jumping around on a stage every night wasn't really good for her considering she already had a prior injury. So she ended up hurting herself even more, leading to her sometimes crying or looking very uncomfortable on stage. She was also doing music festivals at the same time, so it was a lot. At this time, Billie was also really good friends with a guy named Brandon Quinton Adams that she would be seen with from time to time. Put a pin on that because we'll get back to him later. I'm gonna jump forward to January 26, 2020, the night of the Grammys, and to say she swept would be an understatement. We need to remember what was at stake here. She was against the pop diva Ariana Grande in her Thank You Next album, which is one of the biggest albums of 2019. Billie took home all of the big categories and left Ariana with nothing, and the people were not having that. This is also where we got the Ariana go ahead meme.
Anything in the world, I love you so much. I'm not gonna waste her.
What's really crazy about all of this is that she dreaded going back up on that stage to receive that award because she knew Twitter was going to have a field day with her. And yes, that ended up happening. Everyone hated her for winning that award, and people said she didn't deserve it. The rest of the era was pretty tame. We only got one more.
It's a fucking object. What is people's obsession with award shows? Like, it's literally, what the fuck? Like respectfully, not to discredit anyone's hard work, but you don't need and nobody needs awards to know they did a good job on a song, bro. What makes an Academy valuable? An Emmy, an Oscar? If you think someone deserved Artist of the Year, then go to the fucking Hobby Lobby, go get a trophy, slap their name on it, and give it to them. Like, that's it. Like, what? It just be certain stuff that make, like, I understand a lot of stuff I don't watch, but certain stuff is literally just pointless to be upset over. You know what I'm saying?
Single, but it didn't move me that.
Like some years ago, people were like, man, like Meg Thee Stallion won like Artist of the Year over Lil Baby. So who, like, none of them were affected by that award, bro. I'm telling you.
Not much. So we're gonna move on to the next. Happier Than Ever. Happier Than Ever as an era wasn't loved by most people, but I was one of the lucky few that understood the vision. Billie, get behind me. It was also pretty interesting because this rollout happened during COVID, so the singles and performances were a little bit awkward and unconventional at times, but she pushed through. The beginning of the era began with My Future, which was released on July 30th, 2020. And this song was inspired from her being alone a lot during quarantine and COVID. It became another huge top 10 hit for her, and it got the people excited for the new music coming. The video was animated to show the ambient vibe the song had, and it was positively received by critics. 4 months later, Therefore I Am comes as the second single, with Billie actually in the video this time, and she just spends 4 minutes running around an empty mall.
What mall is that?
At this time, people were now tired of her green hair, and since it was a new era, people were complaining why she hadn't completely reinvented and changed everything about herself, and she had something to say about that.
I don't think she did.
I have a fun story to tell you. But first, you guys. Stop making fun of me. Oh my god, I'm making you an album. I will not put it out if you keep making fun of my hair.
Considering this was during peak COVID, she didn't do a whole lot of performances other than the AMA, so there's not much to talk about with that. February 26, 2021, she released her documentary, Billie Eilish, The World's a Little Blurry. The documentary.
And you could have watched it too if you were following me on twitch.tv/ski2350. That's all you gotta do. You don't gotta sub, you don't gotta donate and all that. Just hit the follow button, turn the notifications on. You will catch the next documentary. Okay? I'm thinking about doing the cat side.
Followed Billie's journey to fast superstardom and her thoughts while trying to navigate her life being a teenager and one of the biggest stars on the planet.
Oh, this one she was like so upset about people keep coming up to her. She was so sick and tired of that. And rightfully so, right after a show.
Hey, so where did she go, Jessica and Jet?
Billy, just get it over with. Just do it. Hey.
They said one group, and then he said, you next.
But if you leave, every time you leave, it's taking way too much time. Come on,
Dude, I don't
Billy.
want to do it.
Let's just
have to meet all these fucking
Billy,
randoms.
they're not random. Billy.
It also shows her
Remember that?
secret relationship with Brandon Quinton, who she calls Q, and how detrimental it was on her mental health. And all of these experiences were things that she used to create her upcoming album.
And she
Things
just,
went
remember,
a
she
little
just kept
quiet
calling
until
and
March
calling
2021
and
when
calling
Billie
and
posted
calling.
this picture on Instagram with platinum blonde hair. And the people went crazy for this one. I find this really funny because she pretty much said, here, fine, this is what y'all wanted. She later said in an interview that she was wearing a green wig for a really long time while the blonde hair was transitioning, so she was tricking all of us. I love a smart girl. The month after this was just a series of really unfortunate events back to back. It was not a good time. She dropped Your Power as the third single, a song about
never heard
men
that one.
abusing their
Whoa.
authority over vulnerable women, which was
Oh, no, I
praised
didn't
for
hear
its
this.
songwriting. Also around this time, she started dating Matthew Tyler Vorse, though they kept their relationship very private. He was 29 at the time and she was 19, but they first met way before that, so very interesting timing. It wasn't just the age gap that concerned people, but Matthew had a very lengthy history of racist, homophobic, and xenophobic tweets. That, of course, he later apologized for. It really doesn't shock me that
after
some
you get
people
caught, you
have their
start
past dug up
apologizing for
like this.
stuff, right?
My thing, though, is why would you be stupid enough to tweet it? I don't know. As a kid,
Because he meant it. We gotta stop giving these people the benefit of the doubt. Certain stuff you did on purpose. Okay. He's not. What are you sorry for being racist? Like how are we supposed to expect these apologies to go? And do we forgive them? Do we believe them? Come on, bro.
I was always taught that my digital
That
footprint
loser
could
outta
come
here,
back
bro.
to bite me later when I got older, so I was very careful with my words on the internet, but clearly not everyone learned that lesson. So because of this, a lot
It's not even that. Like, don't get me wrong. When I wanna no matter what I want to say, when like I watch YouTube, right? But I don't watch it on this account. Just in case it gets misinterpreted or something. It ain't finna come back to Ski 2350. But still, how do you end up saying something racist on the internet and it's basically chalked up to you forgot, like you didn't know like how to be safe when you're talking on the internet? The fuck? Or I mean, do you say that in real life or something? Are you saying racist shit in real life? Like certain stuff does not deserve to be excused. You know what I'm saying? Cheating does not deserve to be excused. These are conscious decisions. These aren't mistakes. The mistake was texting that girl. You went and did more than that. So, I mean, what mistake? You know what I'm saying? You typed it and then pressed send and left it there. It probably got likes and responses and you saw all of it. You're a bad person. And I hope and I pray that you become better. I would not excuse that behavior when he did. Hope she left for that.
A lot of people were concerned for her, but they were also giving her the side eye because what do y'all have in common? Billie herself had a video resurface when she was a teen using an anti-Asian slur, which she also later apologized for. I was tired. I would say that's the end of the negative stuff for the era, but I don't want to sit here and lie to you. 2 months later, Lost Cause is released as the fourth single, making the era almost
You
a
ain't
year
nothing but a
long, and
lost
I
cause.
personally really like this song. Now, before we talk about the bad stuff, let me say I like this music video. I do not agree with people saying it doesn't match the vibe. Why was she twerking to trip hop? And to that I say, you don't like fun. On to the controversy now. People were questioning Billie's sexual orientation when the video dropped because in it she's dancing on girls and letting them twerk on her, and people saw this as queer baiting, which was very dumb considering what we know now. And Billie responded with this Instagram post saying, I love girls. I love when the girls are messy. She then announced the Happier Than Ever World
How
Tour,
is that
and I
messy?
did decide to get
She's
tickets this
been
time around,
pretty
and when I
obvious.
tell you, I was fighting for my life to get those seats. Fighting 15-year-olds for those
How much have y'all paid for a Billie Eilish ticket? Like, What was like? Are they expensive like Beyonce and stuff, or like Ariana level, or like how much do they cost?
Arena seats were the most stressful 20 minutes of my life, but when have y'all ever known me to give up? I secured them. And I kind of lost my voice that night. During this time, Billie was dressing
She
in
even have
more
her eyes
mature
open.
and
Yo,
wearing
she
more
having a good
feminine
time.
pieces, especially to red carpet events
Yo.
and magazine shoots, which got her more backlash since now she was being too sexy. I know she was
Can't win with the
tired.
internet.
We
Stop
did get
competing.
2 more singles before the album dropped, but the one that really solidified the era was the title track.
You made me hate this city.
The best way I could describe this song is extreme catharsis. When you sing it, you're releasing some kind of energy out into the world. In a good way. Critics and fans loved this song and called it the best song on the album and one of the best in her entire discography. The album was released the same day, and even though the sales first week were pretty good, it didn't compare nearly as much to her debut, so because of that, people considered it a sophomore slump. It might have been that to other people, but it went platinum in my house, especially I didn't change my number.
No, that's wrong. Is that Euphoria? You ever seen Euphoria? Oh my
Billie
God.
changed her hair a couple more times during the era. She did brunette,
Euphoria
then to
is
jet
that
black
show,
on
bro.
tour and red carpet events, and she even did bright red roots for a little minute. March 2022, Billie won yet another award, but this time she won her first Oscar for Best Original Song with No Time to Die for the James Bond movie. She and Phineas became the youngest people to ever win this award, so at this point, people needed to put respect on her name. About a year
At
later,
this
she
point,
goes back to Coachella, but
when
this
she
time as a
swept,
headliner.
she should have
She
had
actually
it.
made
Like,
history by being the youngest artist to headline that festival.
it's just like, why do everybody get doubted once they start doing something? You know, you ever notice that? When someone wants to start, wants to start rapping, when there's a new artist that comes out that's singing, when there's a new YouTuber, there's a new anything, it's like all this doubt. Oh, they're just another person that's trying to, oh, nah, they ain't all that. Oh, no, they just had one good song. Or it's just always doubt. Why can't we all win? Why can't everybody just be happy? Why can't everybody be happy? Genuine. You know what I'm saying? You can't brag. You can't talk about accomplishments because you're being braggadocious and you're blah 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 blah. And then you know the dick riding culture. Like if you compliment somebody, you're dick riding or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like stuff like that. I just don't understand. Like nobody even knows if they're even doing anything good these days because people if you talk about it, you're being cocky, and then if someone compliments you, they're being a dick rider. Everybody gets chastised for being positive these days. It's weird as fuck.
So this was a big
This
deal.
girl just won 6 fucking Oscars or Grammys, and you have the audacity to go online and say she didn't deserve something. But if your favorite won it, they deserve it. Do you not see how ignorant that? Like, come on, like what are we talking about? Winner won, and everybody is still alive.
This was even bigger than her first, having a bigger stage, more
Preach
visuals, and intricate
2350,
set
man.
concepts, a lot of crowd interaction,
Preach
and an
2350,
even
man.
longer set list. She brought out Khalid for Lovely and also
I
brought
heard
Phineas
Khalid just
out
came
for
out recently.
Performance
Is that
of Your
true?
Power, and she even brought out Haley
That
Williams
Bella
for a
Thorne?
duet of Misery Business. It was insane. And then she ended the set with an amazing performance of Happier Than Ever. She did her big one here. I'm gonna end this era by talking about Billie's other controversial relationship with Jesse Rutherford. I don't know, I'm just a little bit confused here.
Why is every pretty girl with a horrible looking man?
Why
I
is
don't
there-
understand. Listen, I'm not shaming people for their looks, but I am though. You give an ugly guy a chance, he thinks he rules the world.
Well, what happened to standing on business, Billie? This relationship was a lot more public because they attended red carpets together, and she would talk about him in interviews sometimes. There was still a significant age gap that made people concerned again because Billie was 20 and he was at the big age of 31. It also didn't help that for Halloween, she did a couple's costume with him dressed up as a baby. It wasn't a good time.
Wow.
They broke up a couple months after this, and Billie was pretty quiet on social media for a little bit. This now takes us to her most recent era, Hit Me Hard and Soft. This one was drastically different from her previous one
This is
because
where I
there was
noticed
no
who she
real
was.
rollout leading up to it. She kind of just announced that it was coming and then dropped it like self-titled Beyonce. There was some very subtle promo here. She had billboards all over the US and UK with lyrics from the album, and she also changed her profile picture to a blue circle on Instagram, telling us that something new was coming. May 2024, one of the songs from the album was used for a Fortnite trailer with a Billie Eilish game outfit.
I killed one of those
that we'll
earlier
talk about
today.
later.
I
She
felt
also
so
had listening
bad, bro.
parties in LA and New York for fans to listen to the album before it actually dropped. When the album drops, it was her biggest first week sales and first day streaming numbers for her entire career, which was absolutely insane considering there were no singles. That same day, Lunch is released as the first single, and in the lyrics, she's very clear about her liking girls and her sexual experiences with them. And everyone was like, gay? Oh, okay. This was yet another shift to her fashion style because she was always evolving, but this time people really weren't feeling it. It was common that people found her style odd, but this time around she was being called out for cultural appropriation. She wore lots of baggy clothing similar to the beginning of her career, but with a more early 2000s urban street style. I will never forget the many tweets saying she was dressing like Soulja Boy in 2007, and now I can't unsee this. As for the summertime, Birds of a Feather is the second single on July 2nd,
one of the
and
best
it went
videos I've ever
crazy
seen
on
right
TikTok that it reached number 2 on the charts. The many whimsical videos and montages
Happier
I
Than
saw
Ever
using
video?
this song
What?
made me want to ride a bike through the streets of New York, and I still might just do that. December 2023, Billie did a cover story with Variety talking about her career and personal life. And it was there that she officially came out with her attraction to women. It didn't make too much noise at first until she went to the Variety Hitmakers event where she was asked a series of questions by an interviewer.
Billie, did you mean to come out in this story? Girl. No, I didn't, but I kind of thought, wasn't it obvious? Like, it's kind of been, I didn't realize people didn't know.
After this, she accused the interviewer and the magazine for outing her. Everyone
Wait, what? Outing her? You dropped the song.
Didn't know.
After this, she accused the
Thanks, Variety, for my award and for also outing me on a red carpet at 11 a.m. talking about anything else that matters. I like boys and girls, leave me alone about it. Please, Billie, who can scream, what was I made for?
Interviewer and the magazine
don't be
for
like
outing
that,
her.
Billie.
Everyone went crazy because people were either shaming the interviewer or were confused by Billie because she's the one that mentioned it in the magazine article. She later said that she overreacted to the whole thing, but the damage was done to that poor interviewer.
Let's be mature. She definitely, yeah, bro. You already mentioned it. You already put it out for the public to see. You cannot get mad at them bringing it up, bro. You know what I'm saying? I just did this. I can see the scar on my head. I cannot get mad at y'all for saying there's a scar on my head. That's just fair, bro.
Sorry to that girl. There were 2 singles after this ending the era, Churro and Wildflower. Churro was teased before the album came out with that Fortnite trailer that I mentioned before, and everyone went crazy when they first heard it. Wildflower is interesting because even though Billie never said who the song was about, people put the pieces together and figured out that it was about Devon Lee Carlson, the ex-girlfriend of her ex, Jesse Rutherford. I do think on some level Billie enjoys mess because this sounds like a storyline of some kind of soap opera, and I love it. February 2nd is the night of the 2025 Grammys, and the Grammys plus Billie always equals controversy. But this time around, the general public was fighting for her instead of preying on her downfall. Billie was nominated for 7 Grammys, including Album of the Year, and the top 2 choices to win was Beyonce for Cowboy Carter and her
If she beat Beyonce?
Album. And Beyonce ended up winning that award. She had never won Album of the Year in her 20-plus year career, so this was history in the making and justice for Lemonade. So Beyonce wins, everyone is clapping, and the camera turns to Billie, and she looks very emotional. Online, people lost their minds. There were people that said Billie was crying because she was really sad she didn't win any Grammys, or that she was crying because she was happy for Beyonce, but it didn't matter. The Billie Eilish fandom was furious. Her fans were terrorizing Beyonce in the comments on Instagram and made TikToks about how Beyonce
That's me, the only guy in the Billie.
were terrorizing.
Why is this so bad? When Taylor and Billie both got 0 Grammys, but Beyonce got 2 for an album no one listened to. Don't be rude. Like, you can like one artist and just not listen to the other. Like, you don't have to be rude to the. Do you guys be like? Do people be? I wonder if people actually know that. Like, you don't have to be rude. Do people know that you don't have to be rude? I wonder if people.
Beyonce in the comments on Instagram and made TikTok.
Me as fuck. Because a month later, Billie fans are still upset that she lost the album of the year. They literally vandalized a billboard.
Talks about how Beyonce didn't deserve to win and Billie was robbed. This went beyond the normal stan Twitter discourse. There were news articles and a whole bunch of think pieces online. I was very stressed. She went on the Hit Me Hard and Soft tour, and this is where we got the very viral video of her Ireland show.
As you guys know, I'm Irish, so it's cool to be here.
She's Irish. Fighting Irish.
I am not from here, obviously.
Conor McGregor.
It's really cool to come somewhere and like everybody looks exactly like you.
I normally try to play devil's advocate a lot and don't assume bad things all the time, but what did you mean by that? For the most part, people didn't really take this that seriously because after all, it's Twitter. No one takes anything seriously on that app. This tour cannot be real. Some man literally yanked her for dear life while she was doing a barricade walk at her show in Miami. I'm beginning to think she pissed someone off and they cursed her because that's the only explanation as to why things keep happening to her. Even with all the shenanigans here.
Oh, you're weird. You're weird. You're weird. Wait, whoa. What?
Miami. I'm beginning to think she pissed someone off and they cursed her because that's the only explanation as to why things keep happening to her. Even with all the shenanigans here compared to her previous eras, I would still say this one is pretty tame. If I were to rank the eras for my personal favorites, I would put Happier Than Ever first, then Don't Smile at Me, next is Hit Me Hard and Soft, and then When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go? Billie is one of my favorite Gen Z pop stars because she's just so entertaining and I don't even think she means to be. Thank you for joining my Halloween special, everybody. I hope I did it justice. If you like full lengthy artist deep dives even deeper and longer than this one, go watch my video on Rihanna's entire career. It is an hour-and-a-half long of greatness. If you made it all the way to the end, thank you so much for watching and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram and I also have a second channel that's just as fun. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you next time.
Bye, Aisha. Wasn't that cool? Now y'all repeat after me, but on my video. Guys, take 3 seconds. And it feeds me for life. But no. That was good. I was expecting more scandal. I thought it was something that I missed. I definitely thought it was something that I missed. Like, did she fight someone or something like that? I have heard about the little Taylor Swift-ish stuff like that. I didn't know anything with Beyonce was involved or anything. And I didn't know about that Ireland thing either. But Billie's a good girl. She's not doing anything on purpose with no ill intent. It hasn't seemed like that so far, and I hope it stays that way. Wish her nothing but the best. Just like I wish you guys nothing but the best. I know we see my eyes, bro. I'm going to do some late night recording. I got to get some. But I try to feed y'all enough. Y'all want to send me some more edit videos or anything like that, or some spooky, scary, like little short films on YouTube. I know y'all know what I'm talking about. So if y'all can send me something like that, just for the end of the month, Halloween spirit, I would definitely appreciate that. Love y'all. We are monetized. You know what I'm saying? And we're 558 strong. Like, yes. You know what I'm saying? So I'm BAU. So y'all next time. I'm tired. See you in the next one. Peace.